Good afternoon, everybody. Okay, we are at lesson 23 in module 2. This lesson is basically the same thing as we've been doing all along. It's division, except the numbers are getting even bigger. So the word you need to really remember in this module and these lessons is decomposition, which means taking the numbers apart. So if I had 152, I can decompose that into 15 tens and 2 ones, right? Or I could do 100. Whoa, this is really funky today. 5 tens and 2 ones. Okay, so that's basically decomposing a number. You start with one number and then you take it apart into different place values. Okay, so just keep that in mind as we go through this lesson. So here's our first problem, 6,247 divided by 29. So the first thing that we are going to do is what? First, let's try to estimate, right? So if we estimate 30 to 30, what would be convenient here? If we made this a 30, this would go down to what? About 6,000, right? Do you agree with that? So it would be 6,000 and 30 would be a reasonable estimate. So now we're going to do something a little bit different today. We're going to keep this in mind, keep the estimate in mind. However, when we do the actual division, these are bigger numbers than we've really been working with. So here's what we have to do. We have to look at the 29, and can 6 be divided by 29? No. So then we go to the 62. 62 divided by 29. Well, when we did this, we did 60 divided by 30, we got 2. So this is 60 divided by 29. So let's try the 3, because 2 times 3 is 6. I have a funny feeling it's going to be way too high, but let's try it. 29 times 3. You see my thinking, because 3 times 2 is 6. But now I'm looking automatically and I see that no, I'm going to carry a 2 and this is going to become an 8, and that's just like way too high. So let's do 2. 29 times 2 is 18. Carry 1 is 58. Would that work? Yeah, right? Because 58 is less than 62, so I can subtract it. And so I would put my 2 up here. Okay, because I'm dividing 62, so you have to line up your numbers. So now 2 times 29, I did it over here, so I'm just going to move the 58 here. And then I'm going to subtract. This becomes a 12. 12 minus 8 is 4. Then I bring down my 4. Well, my next step is 44 divided by 29. Well, I know that 2 times 29 is 58. So is it possible to put a 2 here? Oh no, that wouldn't make any sense because I already know it's too high, so it has to be a 1. So 1 times 29 is 29. I subtract 14, and this becomes a 3. So 14 minus 9 is 5. 3 minus 2 is 1. And now I bring down my 7. And see, I've lined everything up. First I divided by 62, so my 2 is above that too. Then I divided by 44, which is really 624 I'm up to right now. So because 21 times 29 would get me to 624. So the 1 is over that 4. Now I'm up to the 7. So what are we going to think here? Well, if I rounded that to 30 again, and I look at this and I see, oh, 15, 3 times 5 gets me to 15. So let's try that. 29 times 5 is 45. Carry a 4. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 4 is 145. So there, my estimating really helped me because I rounded that to 30. And then I noticed this started with a 15, and 15 is divisible by 3. So that's why I started with my 5. So I put that up here, and I already did the multiplication, so I put that down here. And then I subtract, and I get 2, 1. Remainder 12. Okay, does everybody see that? Good. All right, so now if we're going to check this, let's do the check. Okay, so we have 215, which is the quotient, times the divisor is 45, carry a 4, 13, carry a 1 is 19. Hold my place because I'm in tens. 2 times 5 is 10. Carry a 1. 2 times 1 is 2 plus 3. Plus 1 is 3, sorry. 2 times 2 is 4. So here I have 5, 3, 2, carry a 1 is 6. So does that match? No, because I still have to add in my remainder, right? My remainder of 12. So I add that in, and I have 7, 4, 2, 2, 6. 6,247, 6,247. So I am good with that. Okay, let's keep going. So here's another one with estimating and checking and then solving. So why don't you guys pause, go ahead and estimate, and then come back and we'll solve this together. Okay, so just pause. Okay, so what I did was while you guys were working on this, I also did it. So here we're doing the decomposition thing, right? So we have our 4,289, and I broke it into tens. So I'd have about 428 tens, okay, divided by 52. So then this would become about 400 tens, and the 50 stays the same. The 52 rather becomes 50. It stays as a number in a multiple of 10. So now I divide 400 tens divided by 50 would equal 8 tens. Okay? So 8 tens really means what? It means 80, correct? Whoa, sorry guys. 80. So I use that when I did the actual algorithm here. So 8 times 52 is 416, and this goes here because I can't divide 42 by 52. I'm dividing 428 by 52, and that's why I get 416. I subtract, I got 12, I bring down my 9. 129 divided by 52 is 2. I multiply 2 times 52, I get 104. I subtract that from 129 and I get 25. Can I divide 25 by 52? No, so that's my remainder. So that's my answer. And then what you need to do is go back and check and make sure that I am correct. Okay? And go ahead and do that and then come back. Okay, so here you have another problem to do. 6,649 divided by 63. I started you off with a decomposition of 66 hundreds, which I got from right there, 66, and then 2 zeros, you have the hundreds, 66 hundreds divided by 63. So I would round this to 60 when you're figuring out your estimate, and then go ahead and solve. So this one is going to be a little bit on the easier side, because if you see the 63 here and the 66 here, you know you're going to divide. Your first number here is going to be a 1 for sure, right? Because you're going to say 1 times 63 is 63. And then 6 minus 3 is 3. And then here's something that's interesting. You know what? I'm going to do this one with you because this one's tough. So you bring down the 4. And what is our favorite saying? Can I divide 34 by 63? No. So when you can't do something in math and you're doing an algorithm, what do we always say? No means 0. You can't just leave it blank. Okay? So you subtract 0. So you have 34, and you bring down your 9. Okay? Now that's as far as I'm going to take you, so you finish it and come back when you're done. Okay, here are all your correct answers for the first 3 problems. And now we're moving on to our word problem. Mr. Riley baked 1,692 chocolate cookies. He sold them in boxes of 36 cookies each. Should be capital H. How much money did he collect if he sold them at $8 per box? You go ahead, you set up your problem. Here's the information you need to know. 1,692 cookies. Boxes of 36 cookies each. That's part 1. How much money did he collect if he sold them at $8 per box? That's part 2. So go ahead, work on that, and when you come back, you'll see what I have done and see if we're doing the same thing. Okay? Okay, so here's the work that I did. So I set my problem up. 1,692 cookies, 36 cookies in each box. So he has 47 boxes. So I just want to show you my thinking over here. So I started out with, I looked at this and I said, well, let me round this to 40. And then I know 16 divided by 4 is 4. So that's how I got this starting spot. And it worked. So then I put the 4 up here. I did all the work. Then I did the same thing. I said, okay, if I had 40 and I had 250, I would round that to 240, and maybe I would go with 8, or maybe I would go with 7. So I decided to try 8. Well, 8 was too much, so that didn't work out. So then I decided to try 7, and look, 7 was totally perfect. It was the exact same number. But I'm not done yet, right? No, because I need to know how much money did he collect. So, per box, how many boxes do we have? We have 47 boxes times $8 per box. So we have 6, carry a 5. 8 times 4 is 32. 32 plus 5 is 37. So he collected $376 in total. Okay? Do the questions on the problem set that you're supposed to do, and I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night.